Last week on our Pour Decisions, we did 5 summer whites under $50. This week, we're stepping it up a notch.
It's way different than any of the other wines we've tried.
In trying 5 whites over $50. From a $60 Chāteauneuf-du-Pape Blanc to a rare $400 Premier Cru. Does price really matter? And did we really just get another bad bottle?
Are you kidding me?
Let's find out how these wines compare to each other in last week's lineup.
Hi wine lovers, welcome to another episode of our Pour Decisions. Today we're going to look at part 2 of our whites perfect for summer.
Last week we did 5 whites under $50.
And this week we're going to do 5 whites above $50.
I gotta say, it was pretty cool trying wines from all around the world and trying out the different grape varieties.
Yeah, it really was. I don't think we're going to have that variety today, B, but I think our lineup is really stellar.
And are these wines readily available for purchase? Let's say we have an amazing wine. Are our viewers gonna even be able to find them?
Yes and no. A couple of them are readily available, of course, depending on where you live in the world. But there's going to be 1 or 2 that are really going to be hard to find too.
Well, it's not like we're wine influencers or anything.
No, that is not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to learn about wines alongside with you guys. And this is about the journey, not the outcome.
Well, I think in one of our videos, I labeled you as a Robert Parker wannabe.
All right, I have a man crush. I admit it.
Well, I'm always down to learn, so let's get started.
All right, let's do it.
Last week, in our 5 under 50 video, we reviewed wines from all over the world. This week, in our 5 over 50, we're narrowing it down somewhat. 3 of our 5 wines are from France. There's a $100 Chablis from the famous Grand Cru vineyard Clos, located just northeast of the town of Chablis in the northern part of Burgundy. And there's a $400 Premier Cru from Cailleret vineyard in Chassagne-Montrachet in Domane. And even if both wines are Chardonnays from Burgundy, we're expecting them to be quite different from each other. And even further south, we'll be trying a white from the town of Chāteauneuf-du-Pape. At $60, well, this will be the least expensive wine we're trying today. Our American wine is a Chardonnay from Russian River Valley in Northern California. And about $90, this wine is still less expensive than its cousins in Burgundy. And finally, we're going to be trying a stellar Riesling from the Saar region. The Saar River is a tributary river to the Mosel, and the vineyards grow on steep slopes down to the river. This $200 Riesling received a perfect score from the Wine Advocate, and I can't wait to try it.
Welcome back, Stacey.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you so much again for helping us choose these wines.
I'm excited about these wines.
What do you think the order should be in terms of trying these wines?
Since it is such an interesting kind of collection, I think just going by price is going to be the easiest way to set this one up.
Before we start, why aren't we tasting these blind?
I think there's a case to be made to taste the 3 Chardonnays blind, right? We've got 2 different French Chardonnays, and we have a California Chardonnay. It would be fun to see the different styles of those 3 and see if we could pick them out. I do think that they're going to be distinct enough that it would probably be pretty easy, especially for your dad, who is familiar with most of these regions and 2 of the wines at least. But once you throw in the Rhone Valley with the Chāteauneuf-du-Pape Blanc and the Riesling, it kind of doesn't make as much sense to do blind, although we could totally revisit a blind tasting of Chardonnays. That'd be fun.
Yeah, our viewers always want to see blind tastings, and in this case, I think they're just all going to be so different that it almost doesn't make sense.
All right, so where do we start?
Let's do the Chāteauneuf-du-Pape.
All righty.
La Loup estate in Chāteauneuf-du-Pape makes several reds and 1 white. This white is made from Grenache, Roussanne, Clairette, and Bourboulenc. Even though Chāteauneuf-du-Pape is best known for making great reds, there are also a number of great whites that come from this area in the Rhone Valley and offer a good quality-price ratio, or QPR as winos like to call it. La Loup produces wines from a 20-hectare vineyard with sandy soil in the heart of the appellation. About 400 cases of the white is produced each year, and this is by far the least expensive wine in our lineup today.
This has got a great nose.
Good color.
It's almost like a highlighter. It's so bright.
This is seeing some oak, right?
This has seen some oak. The color is going to be so electric on some of these. It's going to be great.
The wines that we're trying today, they do have mellow?
Some of them are, yes, going to definitely have mallow. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. The Riesling, no mallow. You're wanting all that acidity to shine through. The Chardonnays, we can talk about mallow for sure.
So that will give them a more buttery taste?
Correct. You're learning. I love it.
No. Who
B.
was that?
She's going to show us up. I'm not
All
going
right.
to. You're not going to need me after this.
So I get some tropical fruit here.
I'm getting pineapple.
You're in the Rhone. It's still southern France, so it's warmer more tropical flavors is totally realistic for this. For me, if there's vanilla on it, it's like vanilla bean instead of like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, it doesn't smell sweet or anything like that. It's got good acidity, I think. You want to try it?
Yeah, let's go.
Cheers.
Wine number 1.
There's definitely acidity.
I like this wine a lot. I think this is great sipping wine. Nothing like the wines that we tasted last week.
It
A lot
is
more
much
fruit.
For sure, for sure. I think all of those things you're going to find in wines that cost more. They've spent a little more time. It takes time to go through Malo. It takes time to age an oak. It takes money to age an oak. So all of these things are much more prevalent in wines that cost a little bit more.
What do you think, B?
Is it bad I liked all the wines from the under 50 video better?
Then this one?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I just don't like it.
Okay,
Oh
tell me
my
more.
gosh, that's fascinating.
More
Does it have a
for us.
bite to it? It's like a mid-palate bite?
Yeah, which I think is, like, I like it at first, and then the after, maybe it's just something I need to get used to. I'm going to keep sipping, and then I'm going to keep you guys updated.
This is a fun part of the tasting. If we
for sure.
all are in agreement all the time,
It's not fun.
you know, what's the point?
Exactly.
All right, so what are we next?
Let's see, what comes next? We're going to do some Chardonnay, right? So from southern France to California, this is Kosta Browne.
Kosta Browne is best known for their Pinot Noirs, and their website even states obsessed with Pinot Noir on the homepage. The Kosta Browne winery is a story of two friends, Dan Kosta and Michael Browne, and their story is so fascinating and typical American. We've included a link in the video description below. The 116 is their basic Chardonnay, if there's such a thing, and a blend of Chardonnay from 8 vineyards in the Russian River Valley. The wine is aged in a mix of new oak, about a third, and stainless steel, and went through malolactic fermentation. In contrast to some of our other wines today, this bottle should be readily available in stores around you.
I absolutely want to recommend all of you viewers to click on the link in the description and read the story of Kosta Browne. I read it, thought it was fascinating and just so much fun. And as I mentioned earlier, I think there's something very American about this story.
Now you're starting to sound like a wine influencer.
B, now I'm dying to find out if you like this.
Okay.
Did you take a sip already?
She just dove right in.
Yes, but I like it.
How about cheers?
Cheers. Yeah, this one is way better, in my opinion. There's not a bite to it. It's way more refreshing, which to me is what a summer wine is all about.
Yeah. The fruit on this is a little tartar, which is sort of surprising to me. I expected it to be a little flabby, to be very honest. When I first opened this up to smell it, it was like, I got a big like punch in the face of like oak and almost like burnt oak. And that has sort of blown off. Love when that happens. And the nose is really pleasant now, and I really like this. Much more than I thought it was going to from the first sniff.
This is their entry-level Chardonnay. I gotta tell you, I think for a California Chardonnay, this is not, I mean, I don't think it's atypical, but it's certainly not typical. It's got greater acidity, much more tartness than you expect. I think they only use 1/3 oak. I think this is a great wine.
I have to agree with you. This is much more vibrant than I really expected it to be.
I'm gonna guess that this is made as a Burgundy Chardonnay, but with a California twist.
I think that you're right to say that. The way that this tastes, the flavor profile, for sure. I'm pleasantly
And
surprised.
B, I'm so happy that you like it.
Yeah, this is like, I don't even want this one anymore. All right, what's next?
Let's taste Chablis.
There are 7 Grand Cru vineyards in Chablis, and Le Clos is the biggest. Actually, calling them vineyards is not factually correct. They're Clément within the Chablis Grand Cru vineyard, and Le Clos is the biggest. Chablis whites are always made from Chardonnay, and winemakers typically use little oak and often black malolactic fermentation, and it results in wines that are often described as steely and chalky with lemon and green apple flavors. It's not always the case though. This Marcel Servin bottling is made by François Servin at Domane Servin in honor of his dad Marcel from a small subplot in Le Clos Clément, and is supposed to be great Chablis.
Marcel Servin is the special, like the best of these wines. So he makes wine under Domaine Servin and bottles kind of like their tête de cuvées, like when they make the best of the best, when this year is just like so exemplary. So the only time you get these wines labeled this way is when it's just like, they're just blockbuster wines. It's like, I'm so stoked to try it.
I have to say, I have reservations about Chablis.
No.
They're so flinty and tart and chalky, and And I feel like there's never enough fruit, but you might really love this.
Oh. Ooh, okay, let's try it. It's more yellow than the other wines.
Got way more color than I expected.
They use oak on this, which is kind of an argument amongst Chablis producers, right? So it softens it a little bit. You get a little color, which is kind of what I think we're seeing here.
Absolutely. And you know what? This just shows my ignorance. I thought that oak was like a big no-no in Chablis.
Generally speaking, when you're at the lowest tier of Chablis and Petit Chablis, it's too inexpensive to waste money on oak. And then as you go up, you get older oak and then newer oak, and you're in Grand Crus, and you have some people who are using new oak and some people who are using older oak.
And do you think that global warming is helping Chablis?
It is getting warmer. They are getting more ripeness. And so I definitely think some of the styles are changing, whether they want them to or not. It is making life a little bit easier because you are successfully getting more fruit ripe.
Well, I'm excited to try the Chablis. Let's do it.
Well,
Cheers.
at least someone's benefiting from global warming. This is my favorite so far.
Oh, man.
Well, let me go back to this one and just make sure.
That is a very different representation of Chardonnay than the Kosta Browne.
Yeah, this is a lot rounder, a lot fruitier than I expected it to be.
For sure.
It's also more oaky than I expected it to be, which is, I can't believe I just said that.
Right? You're going to see more oak in a Grand Cru.
I'm not sure I love the oak in this. There's just not a lot of fruit in this. And I don't think the oak
Helps.
helps.
To me, it's just the perfect summer wine. I just want something that's refreshing and goes down easy.
I do want to point out to our viewers, and I think this is an important point, we're now splitting hairs. These are delicious wines. But because they are at $100, we're going to be a lot more critical.
For sure.
Right? Like, if this was a $30 bottle of wine, I'd be like jumping up and down and doing cartwheels.
All right, what's next?
Let's see. Chardonnay. Let's do Riesling.
Domane Serrig traces its roots back to Kaiser Wilhelm II, who founded the domain. But for decades after World War II, the domain was neglected. The privatization in the late 1980s did nothing to improve quality until in 2016, it was purchased by Marcus Molitor and everything changed. Vogelsang is the name of the 25-acre vineyard given the designation at Grosse Lage, which loosely translates to Grand Cru. 80% of the vineyard was replanted, and the building has gone through a complete renovation and modernization. The 2020 vintage was the first released vintage of the new domain, and Wine Advocate, well, they gave the wine 100 points.
I know you're excited about this. She's been
so
talking
stoked.
about this one.
So stoked about this wine.
I would tell you, I am so excited about this too.
I am too, and I hate to have to empty one of my glasses, but it's going to be the Kosta Browne.
Chug, chug, chug.
All right, miss.
I wasn't expecting her to actually do that.
I love it. This is high expectation. This is a 100-point wine.
I think this is going to, 100-point wine for a white out of Germany.
Well, I think this nose is fantastic.
It's way different than any of the other wines we've tried. Okay, this is going to sound bad,
No, I love it.
but it almost smells like a chemical. Like if you smell it, you're going to like pass out or something.
Wait,
I-
that does sound bad.
I'm just going to cheers you right now, aside from everything else. So one of the biggest identifiers for Riesling is petrol. You're getting so good, it's impressive. So one of the first things that indicates you're drinking Riesling is that kind of chemically gassy kind of thing.
All right, cheers.
Yes,
Let's give it a
please.
try.
Sure. That's good.
That's so good. I love how long
It,
it's
like-
taking. Yeah.
It is still, I'm still tasting this wine. It just keeps going on and on and on. I love this wine. Is there any residual sugar at all, do you think?
I don't think, if there is, the acidity is so high that they are just balancing each other right out. So crisp, all the flavors are so like tart and lime candy-ish. Would I guess that it was as expensive as it was? I don't know. Would I be happy to pay what I know it costs? Yeah, completely.
B's like, no, I'd rather have a purse.
Like, yeah.
I expected that this would be like a great sipping wine, but after tasting it, this is a great food wine. Now, we did have oysters last week when we did the under 50, but I didn't get any oysters today. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
Fish. salmon, some greens, but
Those will
no
be great with the
oysters.
Chardonnays, for sure.
Ooh, well, I was thinking ahead. The next wine, because we only have one wine left, right?
We only have one wine left.
This is my favorite producer from Burgundy.
All right, so we're doing the Montrachet.
Let's do it. Premier Cru.
Jean-Claude Ramonet is one of the very top producers in Côte de Beaune and makes wine from some of the best Premier Cru and Grand Cru vineyards in the area. Ramonet started making Clos de Cailleret in 2014, which again is a monopole subplot within the larger area. The current release price is about $400, which is 4 times the price it was in 2014. Ramonet wines are generally made in small quantities, and the prices reflect both the quality and exclusivity of these wines.
So this is the most expensive wine that we have in our lineup. Super yellow. It's almost like, can I say it? It kind of looks like pee in a glass.
I think there's a little bit of oxidization going on.
It would explain the color at 2017.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be Latoche 2.0.
I've had a fair amount of Ramonet.
This isn't it.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we had a bad bottle.
It is. It's a little more like, not rotten, but bruised apple.
I don't get the acidity here.
Are we tasting it?
Let's just do it. Let's rip the
I'm
Band-Aid
like,
off.
I just have to know.
There. We have to know.
I can't wait anymore.
Are you kidding me?
There's something just like gritty about the feel of it.
Yeah, I thought that they were done with these issues in 2017.
They should be. Bad bottles happen.
Bad things can happen to wine along the way. You
Cook
can
it.
have it in barrel, you can cook it during transportation. There are a lot of things that can happen, right? I don't think this is a transportation issue.
I don't either.
Because cooked wine has a very,
It has a very distinct smell.
And there's no way that it's a fake bottle, right?
no, I don't think so.
Where did you get this one, may I ask?
It might be Acker.
Acker or something like that on the back.
Oh gosh, people are gonna say,
Oh,
like,
it
Does
is
poor
Acker?
Acker. Acquired
I
from
got
private
the-
collection.
Yeah, so I got this at the auction. So it could be a storage issue.
I don't know. Storage issue. I mean, the cork is in really good shape. 2017 isn't that old. It's the correct cork. It has all the right things.
I don't feel like the color would have changed if it was poorly.
2017. I mean, it's not that old for it to be in the shape and the color. I don't know.
Well, this is fascinating.
Yes.
Yet another experience with a bad bottle of Burgundy. But they're so good when they're good.
They're so good when they're good. It makes it so unfortunate when this happens.
I don't know that this is an accurate issue.
I mean,
but
finding
I do
out where the auction came from, reaching back out to them and finding out, like, where did it come from? What happened with this one?
Our 1990 Opéron was from Acker. That may
And that
have
was
been the
amazing.
best bottle that we've ever had. Price did not determine
The
how
best
we
wine.
lived. No.
For sure.
I could have told you that.
And I will tell you, that's not typical. I've had plenty of Ramonets in the last 12, 18 months. And this is the first bottle I've had that hasn't been
Hasn't been on
magnificent.
point.
So I'm really sorry about that.
It hurts me when my dad's so excited about a wine and pays so much money for it just to be disappointed. It makes me upset.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you
For
so
sure.
much, Stacey, for helping us choose the wines.
pleasure.
Hopefully it's been really a fun experience for you guys to watch and giving you some ideas of wines to try from around the world.
Is our poor decisions cursed when it comes to Burgundy wines? Another flawed bottle from one of Burgundy's most prestigious winemakers. Fortunately, the other 4 bottles were great. The clear winner, with some margin I might add, was Domane Serrig Vogelsang. It sang right out of the bottle and demonstrated what great Rieslings are all about. We all enjoyed the Marcel Servin Le Clos Grand Cru Chablis and the Kosta Browne 116. Stacey and Barrett thought the Chablis was a step ahead of the Kosta Browne, but I preferred the Russian River Chardonnay. I just thought it offered a bit more fruit to balance it all out. Barrett didn't like the white Chāteauneuf-du-Pape, but Stacey and I enjoyed it. A bit more acidity would have helped out, given it crispness and otherwise lacked for a warm summer day. After tasting 10 summer whites, all 3 of us walked away thinking you don't need to spend a fortune for a satisfying and refreshing summer wine. In fact, our most expensive bottle turned out to be the greatest disappointment. There's probably a lesson in there somewhere. Until next week, cheers everyone.
All right, Jeff, can we just pour ourselves some Riesling?
Yes, please.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. I am so sore from riding on the jet ski yesterday.
Oh, your
First
life.
world problems.
Oh, your life must be so difficult. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm drinking Grand Cru and I'm sore,
And I'm
from,
sore
the
from the jet
ski.
ski.
Oh.